The individual sports that we choose is running. So now, we will demonstrate on how to play running.
Rules for sprint racing. Greetings, folks. Today, we're going to talk about an exciting sport that's going to sabotage your attention. Sprint racing, or more commonly known as running. It's one of the oldest and most popular track events out there. But do you know there are a bunch of rules that athletes follow when they're running? Well, let's start. Categories. There are different categories in sprint racing. 1. Short distance. Short distance sprints, the course of running is usually 100 meters, 200 or 400 meters. In 2, middle distance, distances are 800, 1500, and the 1 mile long runs. They're more focused on endurance and pacing than just pure speed. And lastly, 3, long distance. Long distance races include the 3,000 meter, the 5,000, and the 10,000 meter races. These races require more power and stamina than a short distance and middle distance race. Objective. The objective in sprinting is the same across all categories. It's to complete the race first without breaking any rules. The difference is in the distances of different categories. For example, in a 100-meter sprint race, the athletes who complete the course of 100 meters first wins the race. Scoring. Although the objective of the race is to finish fast, the time elapsed to complete the race is measured and recorded. Digital sensors and scanners are placed at the end of the lane, which records the time taken by each athlete. Let's talk about the rules now. Rules. Number 1, the race begins when the referee shoots the pistol in the air. Number 2, runners are supposed to wear short spikes that must not exceed 9 millimeters in length, otherwise they'll be disqualified. 3, runners are instructed to wear skin-tight shorts and their vest must be fitted. They're not allowed to wear shirts underneath. 4, there are designated lanes on the tracks. Sprinters should run in designated lanes and cannot cross lanes throughout the race. 5, in races with bunched starts, athletes can break inside. 6, if the course of the sprint is 800 meters, athletes start from staggered positions and can break inside after the first bend. 7, in longer races of 1,500 meters, 5,000 meters, and 10,000 meters, athletes can break inside after the start. 8, sprinters are prohibited to step on white lines that mark their lanes throughout the race. 9, sensors are placed in the starting pistol and at the blocks. In case of a false start, the athlete is disqualified. 10, before giving the set command or before firing the starter gun, athletes cannot touch the other side of the start line with their hands or feet. 11, athletes should not obstruct other athletes during the race. 12, if an athlete is obstructed, the referee may order the race to be held again, or he may ask the athlete to take part in the next round. 13, athletes may leave the track voluntarily before the race ends, but they cannot come back to the track. This is it for running events. Make sure that you go through them before participating in any of these. Remember to warm up always before running any of these races. Happy running. Share with us your experience in the comments section down below.
The dual sports that we choose is badminton, and now we will demonstrate on how to play badminton.
How to play badminton. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Encyclopedia series, where you can learn about every single game that's ever existed on planet Earth. Today in our Sports Encyclopedia series, we talk about badminton. So let's begin. Badminton is one of the most popular racket sports played with rackets and a shuttlecock. The objective of the game is to score points by hitting the shuttlecock over the net and have it land in the designated court areas of your opponent. Now let's talk about how to play badminton. Badminton is played either as singles, 1 versus 1, or doubles, 2 versus 2, in a measured court. There's a net in the middle of the court. Opposite teams stand on either side of the net. Players are given a stringed racket, using which they hit the shuttlecock. The game begins with a toss to determine which player will serve first and which side of the court the opponent would like to start from. After the service takes place, the players are allowed to move around to hit the shuttlecock back. How to win badminton. A player is rewarded with a point when they successfully hit the shuttlecock over the net and their opponent fails to hit it back. A point is also rewarded if the opponent hits the shuttlecock into either the net or outside the parameters. The team or player who manages to get 21 points before their opponent wins. Friends, this is an overview of how to play badminton. However, if you'd like to learn the rules of badminton in detail,
And lastly, the team sports that we choose is volleyball, and we will demonstrate to you on how to play volleyball.
In this video, you will learn the basic volleyball rules. Volleyball is played on a rectangular field of 18 by 9 meters, surrounded by an unobstructed area. It is divided in two by a net and has a front zone of 3 meters width on each side of the net. The height of the net is 2.43 meters for men and 2.24 meters for women. 2 antennae, or rods, are attached to the net above the sidelines. The rods pass 80 centimeters vertically up from the sidelines and mark the boundaries for where the ball can be played. To play, 2 teams of 6 players rally the ball to each other over the net between the rods. The ball can touch the net during its passage. The teams play 3 sets against one another, up to 25 points. In the case of a 5th set, it is played up to 15 points. A winning team needs at least 2 clear points to win a set. A team scores a point in 2 instances: when the ball hits the ground on the opponent's side of the court, or when a team is unable to return the ball or commits a foul. To learn more, watch our video on the basic fouls. Each game begins with a serve hit with the hand. The team which receives the ball is entitled to 3 touches with the ball before sending it back. All parts of the body can be used. A single player does not have the right to touch the ball twice in a row. If the team which served wins the point, they keep the same server. If the receiving team wins the point, it wins the serve, and its players rotate clockwise. To learn more, watch our video titled Knowing the Zones, Positions and Roles of Players. You're now familiar with the basic rules of volleyball. Over to you.